Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of 2.0. That's right, 2.0 is in the house. I'm happy to be connected with you again today. And listen, if you are just strolling by and this is your first time checking us out, we thank you for checking us out. And if you have not had the opportunity to hit subscribe, I want to extend the invitation to you right now to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that every time we release an episode, you, my friend, will be notified so that you can tune in and watch it. So, tonight, I am happy to have two wonderful guests in the studio with me today. So for those of you who are on social media, for those of you who are from the New York area, you would see that there are not new faces. You're going to be happy to see them as well. I am, happy to have known them for a little while. We worked together in different areas in the industry. But today I have the opportunity to sit down with them and talk about their life and marriage and so on and so forth, and relationship advice for you guys who are watching. So it's a pleasure for me to have them in the studio. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce the Garçons. What's up, guys?
Well, he's talking about us. I was trying to figure out who he's talking about. What's going on, JR?
Hey, doing all right, man. Welcome to 2.0, guys.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, man. Irv, you and I have talked about this, for a while. We talked about bouncing ideas and trying to do a collab. But you know what? Here you are, man. So I'm happy to have you here.
We made it to Bridgeport. I don't know if you're supposed to let people know where you're at, because I don't know if ICE coming for you.
ICE.
I don't know what your legal status is.
No, I'm good. I'm good, man. But fun fact, man, I've been trying to get you to come up to Connecticut for a while.
Trying to make us move, not just move to Connecticut.
CT is not it for me. Sorry.
I'm not gonna hold you though. Sometimes when I drive through if I'm going through a theme park or something like that, and I would drive to those rich mansion. Yeah. I could never say right. Mansions.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is nice. When we get that first million or two.
Right. That's right. Claim it.
Probably pull up. No, but I don't know about Connecticut. We love New York.
Yeah.
We're not married to New York, but
gotcha.
We'll see what happens.
Cool. So, and I was telling one of our tech guys here, like, you are a gospel singer, like for people who don't know you, who have seen you just for the first time. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself and tell them about your work and, your music career so far.
Yes. Well, that I have music on iTunes. I am a gospel singer and recording artist.
Nice.
I do all I do because I love it, not because I have to do it, but because I really love it. Our newest single is called Praise God that just came out in March. Was it March or April?
It was
Good Friday weekend.
I think that's April.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's out there.
And you can catch it on iTunes, wherever music is sold. We also have a music video on my YouTube channel, and Garçon. And besides that, I just love being a mom, love being a wife, love being an educator, just pouring into people. That's just really my specialty.
Nice. Awesome. And Irv, you want to talk a little bit about yourself and also the marriage built to last?
Yeah, man. I am not a singer. I just sing in the shower. No, but by trade, by education, I'm a school counselor.
Nice.
I currently work in a elementary school providing services to kids. So that's our 9 to 5. Other than singing, the other thing that we do together, there's 2 ministries that we are involved with that relate to love and relationship. Our platform is called Love Talks with the Garçons. So you could follow us on all platforms. The Garçon is with a C, not a S. People probably, if you don't know, it's Garcon. This is where it's our platform where we deal with all things love and relationships, right? So we give counsel, give advice, we stream, we do content, just around the just around relationships, period. And people who are from, it's complicated all the way to rediscovering love. They tune in and give advice to those people. And also our marriage ministry, along with our partners. This is a collaboration with us and our partners, the Flurmos. Shout out to them. It's called Marriage Built to Last. And under that umbrella, we host different events for married people. For example, we've had galas, we've had retreats. Matter of fact, Lubin Entertainment has been our MC for several of our galas, where we just basically get together, we celebrate marriage, we celebrate love, and at the end of the night, for each gala, we do a vow renewal, and it's called We Still Do. So it's celebrating marriage, because right now marriage is under a lot of attack. There's a lot of different messages being talked about when it comes to marriage. So we really are intentional about that particular endeavor. And under the Love Talks with the Garçon brand, that is where we are working with anybody, regardless of where you are in a relationship. We do marital counseling, premarital counseling, discovering yourself counseling. So it's a lot, and it's a passion, it's a love, it's a calling too, because we didn't set out to do none of that stuff.
Wow.
But, we are almost, we probably won't ask that question, but we are 19 years in. And so we just wanted to give people some of the counsel of what we've experienced over the course of our relationship and marriage together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to touch on that, right? Because I realized, because I follow you guys on social media.
Yeah.
I realized the month of August is very significant to you, right? Your entire family, as a matter of fact, right? Because you just celebrated 19 year wedding anniversary. Your daughter just turned 16, right? And your son just turned 15, right?
15, yeah.
So
we like to call it August Rush.
August Rush, yeah. So it's a lot to celebrate. So talk to me about 19 years of being married.
The other day I did some research to see
I can't stand you. I know what you're going to say.
if the marriage license expires after a while, and what the options are if I want to renew it or not.
Right.
Unfortunately, not in New York State, I don't think there's any state where you have to go and then reapply.
Yeah.
No, but it's crazy because it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I'm like 19.
19, yeah.
19.
We've been married 19, together 25.
Yeah,
Wow.
We've been together for 25 years.
So he laid eyes on me in 2000.
In
2000.
Couldn't take his eyes off me.
Really?
See,
That's not how I heard
First
it.
of all,
Okay, let's not go there.
That's how we know.
So that wasn't the question. So
That's
the
how we
question
know.
was,
That's how we know she's lying, because it was in 2000. We got together. You saw me in 1998, 99, and you followed the kid. You know what I mean? You try to put. She pulled a Ruth, a biblical Ruth. You know how Ruth placed herself in the Boaz.
Yeah, exactly.
She
in the
just
garden.
conveniently placed herself in front of me so I could see.
I'll
her.
give you that.
Yeah.
I presented and he pursued.
Listen, you know what? I can't be mad at you. You know what?
that.
Exactly. There isn't.
Man, and now 25
look at you,
years
25
later.
years later. Yeah.
25 years later together,
Yeah.
19 years married. It's been a journey, man. But it's been a good journey, and I thank God for a lot of awareness and recognition that is given us over the course of our marriage.
Nice.
And what we've done with the awareness and recognition is we don't just sit on it, we act on it.
Nice.
Right. So one of the big term in our marriage is the word intentional. That has become part of our vocabulary. And I think that level of intentionality in action is what probably has kept us here so far. And she's good people. I tolerate her. And
So you're gonna hang on to her for another.
went through a little, but I'm still doing the research to see. You know, Trump is crazy. He might go around and just sign legislation that says your license can expire if you wanted to.
But it's also about like validation, right? Yeah. Validating each other's feelings. We had to learn that.
Yeah.
Not the hard way, but we just had to learn that across the years that we've been married, because the term, it's not that serious. Yeah, we had to get rid of that.
You had to get rid of that. She used to love.
It's my
to
turn,
say
sir.
That.
It's my turn. I didn't cut you off.
I apologize.
We had to learn
Right.
it's not that serious, because if it's serious to you, it has to be serious to me. If you feel a certain way and I don't feel that way because it hurts you, because it makes you uncomfortable, I have to validate
It
that.
should matter.
It shouldn't matter to me as well. And so we had to, and that practice, that principle has really helped us throughout the years as
Yeah.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And actually, that's one of the questions I was going to ask. Like, what was the biggest lesson learned, right, in the 19 years? I know it's
Yeah.
probably a lot.
You know, we've never had that question.
Really?
Yeah, not as that
Yeah.
way. Not as that way.
Biggest lesson.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what N was saying before. Well, one thing that I realized about people, naturally, we are selfish. And it's not necessarily in a negative connotation. Because when you hear the word selfish, people think always negative.
Yeah.
Selfishness could be about self-preservation. Selfishness could be about how I grew up, how I am, my temperament, my personality, my character. And one thing that we have to learn is you cannot just stand on that status quo. Because when you're involved with anybody, any kind of partnership, not just not just the romantic relationship, but any kind of partnership that you are in, you have to be willing to grow.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to adjust. The Bible talks about the two becoming one. That scripture in itself, it doesn't say on that day that you say, I do, you become one. It says you're becoming one. So it's a process. And that process, you cannot be on that. It doesn't mean that you lose your individuality, but you cannot stand on that whole, that's just me. Right? And
Right.
so if there's one lesson that we've learned, and that's why when we talk about being intentional, the whole that's just me thing in a marriage, you cannot just go based on that. How willing are you to be flexible? How willing are you to learn from your partner, what your partner is saying? Are you willing to even listen to what your partner is saying so you can grow as the husband or the partner that they need you to be?
Yeah.
So a lot of it is that, and also realizing marriage takes work. There's work that you have to put into it. There is levels to it.
Right.
Right. So based on compatibility, based on other factors, based on your patience, based on temperament, based on character, it determines how much work you have to put in.
Right.
But if there's compatibility, it's probably not as much. Versus if you're total opposite, polar opposite, you think differently.
Right.
You do have to be intentional in making that adjustment for the sake of the unit. Even if it's not for your partner, but for the sake of the unit, you have to be willing to be adjustable,
Right.
and flexible in the way you approach things. Clock it. Okay.
I would like to
Did you
add
get the right finger? Or you're still trying to
whatever
determine
y'all
which
want. I also would like to add to that. One of the biggest lessons I've learned, and thank you for that question because it really caused me to think as you were responding. I was listening to you though.
Were you?
I really
Okay.
was.
What did I say?
I clocked it so that to let you know I was listening.
Can you quote me?
Oh Lord. Focus on the good.
Yeah. Wow.
No relationship, no marriage is perfect. And so you will always have a rough patch here and there. But you know how the Bible says to think of good things, pure thoughts,
Yeah.
things that are noble, worthy,
Yeah.
true, honorable.
Think on those
Because
things.
a lot of times, we hyper focus on the negative, which causes us to like build frustration and
Yeah.
sometimes resentment and anger and bitterness. And when you just kind of keep focusing on that, you forget all the good that's happening. Like you just don't focus on all the good that's happening. And so even in those moments that some things are not lining up the way you want them to,
Right.
focus on the good and pray about the bad.
That's good.
That is,
Yeah.
that's very good. I'm sitting here listening to you guys, and I started thinking about the whole progression of 2.0, right? So initially, when I started 2.0, I was talking about, I was focusing on divorce, right? People who, especially for men who've gone through divorce, right? So that is a very difficult time, emotionally, financially, physically. It's been, it's a traumatic time, right?
Yeah.
But throughout the time we've been talking about it, it almost seems like, we're so focused on divorce, but now you guys are here and you've been married for 19 years. It's like you showing a different perspective of marriage, and I'm like, wow, that is really, really awesome. Just, listening to you guys, the way you talk about one another, and Anne is still holding on to you, she's caressing your hand after 19 years. I'm like, man, this is amazing right now. This is so good to see.
But you know what I want to say though, I do want to commend you because during the course of us doing what we do, talking about marriage and relationship, we often think about asking people who have gone through a divorce, or even with our retreats, people who have gone through divorce to come in, because there's a lesson to be learned. Of course, there's a lesson to be learned, and there are things that you can teach people, and putting yourself out there to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is what I've been through,
especially as a man,
as a man,
black man at that,
and being vulnerable about it too.
Haitian black man at that. Okay, just had to.
You want to say Haitian black man that's bald too? I mean, how many categories
Come
are?
on, just continue, sir.
No, but it's great work because there are lessons to be learned. Like sometimes Ann and I, we do sit back and we have the conversation about the validity of what we do in ministry, because some person might say, y'all haven't gone through what we've been through, so how can you tell us this? And I'm like, well, you can learn from us, because there's a reason why we haven't gone through what you've been through. But nonetheless, having people who have gone through it and can say, hey, avoid the pitfalls. Right. And you and I, we've spoken about it, not in depth yet, but I think also, especially if you're taking the approach of letting people, hey guys, this is where I went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because we're living in a time right now also where people don't want to take accountability.
No.
They don't take accountability. It gets frustrated. It
That's
gets frustrated
about
for
me,
me.
right?
Yeah.
No, not you.
Okay.
It gets frustrating with me because, like, even when we do counseling with people or we're talking to an individual, my question is always, and it's not blame assignment. It's not blame assignment. My question is, okay, you're telling me everything that this person did. What have you done?
Right.
And when I'm asking the question about what have you done, it has nothing to do with
It's your fault.
it's your fault, or you might reunite with this person, because if the relationship is over, the relationship is over. But what have you learned as you move forward, right? So the work that you're doing right now, JR, it's helping people who might be in the same situation, looking for love again. It's like, hey guys, here are my pitfalls. You have other guests coming in. Hey, here this is some places where I went wrong, and it helps people to heal, right? So you're actually doing healing work. So we commend you from that. We might be on the preventative end,
Right.
but I guess in a way you are on the reactive end because you've done this before. So now it's preventative as well.
Yeah.
But through the reaction of what the history is. So
Absolutely.
you're doing the Lord's work, my brother.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate
yes.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But yeah, man, like you said, it's all about trying to, try to use the platform that God has given us, or the opportunity that God has given us to,
Absolutely.
enlighten others, right, through our experience and the things that we've gone through. Hopefully we can always, hopefully we can encourage someone who's going through stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been talking about the divorce epidemic in the church. Right.
Now, l'église. and
What does that sigh about, Anne?
It really breaks my heart.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's so real. It's so raw. It's so sad. It's sad.
My wife loves love.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
She loves love.
Because I love love, and I sometimes
fairy tale level love. She like.
Sometimes I wish that people who were going through it would speak out more. To try to seek help more, because maybe if they had reached out, or if they found community or safety in someone, it could have been saved. Who's to know? So that's where that side came from.
I'm glad you mentioned that. And since when we first started the conversation, you guys talked about you're both in ministry. What do you feel that the church could do more of in order to try to prevent that from happening?
I have a friend of ours, and I think I could admit, they are a partner in ministry. You know them, the other half of MBTOL. They've been married for about 25 years.
Wow. Nice.
You know where I'm going.
I'm going.
No, not, is it 25 years?
Beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful wet marriage. Until now, they're still waiting for a book from their pastor. Okay? Before they got married, their pastor was supposed to give them, they had like 1 session or 2 sessions.
Okay.
And I'm
Premarital
about
counseling.
to leave. I'm going to give you. I'm
Was
gonna
it
give
a
you
book on sex? Yes, it was a
It might
book
have been.
on like godly sex or something like that.
And they're still waiting for that book. I say all that to say jokingly, there's not the post work that needs to be done. I think also the church, growing in church, I don't even remember, especially in Haitian church, I don't even remember any kind of sermons, any kind of teachings, any kind of conferences, any of that. Marriage Built to Last was built by us. Because it's funny, because the other day I was going through a box of, every Haitian has a box of documents.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
You have a box of documents.
And we're not even
that
Haitian.
old. And I was looking through the box for something completely unrelated.
Yeah.
And I came across a program for the very first year we did a marriage retreat.
Why'd you share
Very
with
first
me?
year. I met 2 years asleep. You're always sleeping. After 9 o'clock, she's no good to anybody after 9 p.m. But that's another story for another thing. And I still try to tap her, if you know what I'm saying. Try to tap.
Lord Jesus.
Wake up. You said you were going to. Bless me. I don't care what time it is. A promise is a promise.
Answer the question,
You
please,
could
sir.
just lay there and let me.
Talking
Oh,
about.
what was I saying? You could sit there and let me do my thing.
Oh my God, you were looking at a program.
No, but
first.
even that's relevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even something
It
like that is
Yes,
relevant.
yes.
Like, how are you having these conversations? I think as the church, we are not having these things are taboo.
Yeah.
The other day, Ann and I, we did a podcast, or we did one of our lives, and we were talking about things that we wish the church told us before marriage. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that, I've never heard that in church.
I feel like back in the day, I feel like and I kind of try to extend grace to
Right. They didn't know any
the
better.
old
Yeah.
church, right? They worked with what they had. Like, what they knew is what they gave.
Yeah.
And many of those marriages were really like surviving. They weren't
They were not
necessarily thriving. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I remember we would go to church, and then Frère Jacques and Sœur Jacques would walk in.
Yeah, if you and I were recording right now, we would role
We would
play
say real,
what it
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like.
right.
you know?
They would walk in together and literally separate.
Separate, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were like the.
It's like they were Muslim. You know how you go to the mosque
They have
and
on
then
one
the
side
women
and the
like,
women on the other
Right.
side.
why don't
Yeah.
you sit together?
Together,
Like,
Yeah. So literally, we were like one of the only couples in church that would sit together.
Right. And it was still hard because we were serving.
Right. And so like we never really saw in church like model
Yeah.
marriages.
Yeah.
But I feel like today there's like really no excuse because of all the resources that are out there. Back in the day, like they literally had nothing. And so I can understand divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because what did you have to really help you really walk this thing out? Marriage is not the day, like you said.
Yeah.
Marriage is the becoming, and the becoming is the hard work.
Yeah.
Because there has to be a lot of adjustments. There has to be a lot of breaking away, a lot of self-denial, and a lot of selflessness. And we have to learn those things. Some of those things are not just innate.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you have to learn those
Levels.
things. There's
Levels.
yeah.
And it takes intentionality. And also, I think part of it also is the purpose of marriage has changed over the years. Also, you still have people who are marrying out of opportunity. They're
Yeah.
convenience. There's a financial aspect as to why people get married. There's till now, you still have Fuentel who has a son, Santel who has a daughter.
Yeah.
You still have a particular let's bring you together because we know
I
each
don't
other.
mind arranged marriages. I just wanted to say that.
What's your success rate in terms of people you brought together as
Don't do
even
that.
dating?
Don't do that.
That's why I don't mess with that. I ain't trying to get blamed.
No. I got you. I want to come back to that, right? I think that's a good point because we had an episode about I think 3 weeks ago where we talked about that. So we'll come back to
What,
that.
the arranged marriage?
Yeah, about arranged marriage. So going back to
Yeah.
what you were saying, right? So earlier before we started taping, you were talking to one of the tech guys from
Yeah.
our team, and there was one thing he said that kind of like resonated with me. That I thought it was a good approach. He was like, the purpose of his marriage, right? He looks at it as a mission from God, right? So he and his wife are together, and together they are raising those kids in godly principles, for the glory of God, right? Now, when you go back to tie it up with your point, when you said the purpose of marriage has changed, right? Nowadays, it's almost like we don't know why people are getting married anymore, right? It's almost like you're saying, oh man, she's a body. You know what I'm saying? She's hot. I like her. She likes me. Boom. So let's go ahead and get married. So then, of course, 3 to 5 years within the marriage, things starts, you start running into difficult times.
Yeah.
You start running into, communication challenges. And now the person is like, well, you know what? I'm not happy. I'm just going to bounce, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy for them to just hit the eject button and say, I don't know, screw the kids, I'm out.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's because we have lost the purpose of why we are getting married.
Yeah. And it's funny you said even during that conversation when he brought that up, it kind of, I smiled in my head internally. I don't want to smile in his face. I'm like, okay, why is this guy smiling at me? It's kind of weird, right? Ann and I, we actually have a written purpose statement for our marriage.
Nice.
This girl's annoying. She make everything an activity. So
Because moments don't just happen, right? Moments are created.
Yeah, you have to create it.
He doesn't know that. Like
So-
he doesn't know that, but he had to learn.
she's a
that.
teacher. She's a
Yeah,
teacher.
so-
There's a
course.
teacher in her.
Yes.
So what we literally did is I wrote the purpose for our marriage. I
Your
wrote
perspective.
from my perspective.
Yeah.
She wrote hers, and then we actually put it together. Don't ask me to quote it. It's somewhere on our phone.
No, it's
It
fine.
was years ago.
Now, was that before you guys got married, or that was after a few years? into
Because the
marriage?
reason why we did that also, I'm not even gonna hold you, and to be honest, we feel the burden of marriage. We went out. I'm a naturally JR. You know me for a very long time. We went out.
go ahead.
I'm always posting. There's no thoughts behind me, and it's always about my family,
Yeah.
about my kids, about my wife. We are always posting on social media. But
Because you love us.
yeah.
You didn't say that part. Come on.
Because I love you. I love you so much. I want to tell the world.
Continue.
That's my way of sitting on a mountaintop and say, I love Ann.
Thank you.
Like the Haitian movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right. But we because of the way we live our lives, and the feedback has been great actually. People say
Nice.
like, Irv, and you guys are the only people I really believe when you post something about your marriage, you're really happy. Feel like everybody else is hiding behind a picture, trying to make
Right.
something look, which is a great thing because people, I guess they are discerning. What they see with us is what they get. But we do have the conversations of, because man, when people coming up to you, hey, you guys make us believe in marriage. Marriage is still good.
And then
Like
that guy that said, "Don't let me down." Oh,
somebody actually wrote, "Don't let me down."
Wow.
So it's like
no
we,
pressure.
Wow.
but at the same time, we are still human. So
course,
we
yeah.
do have the conversation like, babe, could you imagine if something happened? How many people will be crushed?
Yeah.
And be like, see,
Just
if
don't mess up. That's it.
they always think it's the man. But so we actually willingly and happily and intentionally carry that burden with us because we do believe that there's some people who they are losing hope.
Yeah.
We hear it.
Yeah.
They're losing hope because, oh man, that couple too.
Right.
And life happens. So I think we try to do our very best not to live for just us when it comes to marriage,
Yeah.
but also to be an example that it can still work, right? And
And can I jump
but
in?
one more thing, for those of you guys who are watching, it's not just that we are 19 years of marital bliss, which it is, but when we say we are intentional about doing certain things, We are intentional about the insurance. I say sorry now, bro.
Like, why is
No
that
way,
even
really?
hard? Why would that even be hard?
Really?
What was I like before our marriage started?
Yeah, he would hold grudges. He would not. He was not that he was always right.
Yeah.
It just was justification.
I tend to be right a lot.
Okay.
I tend to be right a lot, but
I beg to differ. Okay, anyway, but like there was a justification for everything, an explanation. Like,
that's the word.
bro, I don't need an explanation. I just need an apology.
Like, but
right.
even something like that, when she says that, I have my rebuttal in my head. But because it's like my wife, she knows she hates. Sometimes she just doesn't want to hear an explanation.
Right.
But rationally, as a person, I like to say, okay, there's a reason behind this.
happened,
There's a reason why. I'm not giving you an excuse, but I want to give you what's behind it. I'm a very contextual person.
Yeah.
But at times, I just bite the bullet. I know she doesn't like it. She just
Yeah.
want me to
So
say
she's not interested in.
she's not interested in the moment. But you know, like 2 days later, I'm saying, okay, let's talk about it.
He has to
Now
bring
that
it
you're not
back.
mad, this is why I
This is why I really did it.
No,
Now,
but,
now you get her upset all over
yeah,
again.
right.
Oh my gosh!
Now you get her upset all over
Right.
again.
But I can't just be like, oh, that's just how I am. I need to give the rationale, blah, 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 blah. I had to scale back. Before, I used to be like, so it's like those things that you're recognizing your partner is asking from you.
Yeah.
Being willing to do that. Give an example about something that you changed because give your example.
Well, she had
'Cause,
something she wanted to say.
Have you seen there's a TikTok trend, I think it's on TikTok, and people are replaying "My Wife the Saint." So it's like the either the husband or the wife, whoever thinks to be the saint.
Yeah.
They're coming down the stairs all
Yeah.
all with the white robe and like, oh, that's Ann. Ann doesn't do nothing wrong. She's a
Thank
saint.
you for saying that. No, I like no. No, like, but
Kevin takes sarcasm. Bruh.
But I told him at the beginning, I had to learn not to be like, oh, this not that serious. To learn to really validate your feelings and to make room for it. Like, because even this past year, and my daughter even said, she said, because we were talking about her sweet 16, and she was like, "You think Daddy's gonna cry?" I said, "I know he's gonna cry."
She wanted me
and
to
she said, "No," but then she said, "This year is the most I've ever seen Daddy cry."
Oh wow.
He's become so more emotionally available.
Okay.
It'd be the AC, bro. Stop it. The AC
And like I
dust.
feel like I've created space for that. He's and I yeah. Stop it. I thought you were about to cry. I was like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here? I think that over the years, like he has learned to trust me.
Yeah.
To be able to be that vulnerable. Because
midlife crisis.
Midlife crisis.
Babe, let me just speak well of you.
No, you're supposed to be taking your ownership, bro.
This is what I've been doing. I've been creating a space for you, a safe space for you to be open. Because, like, no, we've sat among married couples where we're at like a dinner table, and under the table, we're like clenching hands because it's just so uncomfortable with how the wife has been talks about her husband or talks to her husband rather in front of
you
people,
guys,
and it's like, what is going on? Like it's just so like
Oh, look at the time.
right, it's just so awkward. And so like developing a level of respect and creating that safe space, being a little bit more accountable because I didn't like to be wrong either. So those are the ways that I've changed as well.
I'll give you an example, a real quick example. A couple months, maybe half a year now, like 6 months ago, she had to adjust the way she received my feelings. Because I'm a very even keel person. I have no needs. I don't really express anything. But I guess connected to the emotional type of thing, she had to, the way I validate her feelings, the fact that I never needed that type of stuff, and it kind of like find herself being me. She was trying to give the rationale, giving the excuse. I'm like, no, I just need you to, the same way I was doing it, I've been doing it for you for all these years.
Yeah.
Because men and women, we're not equal when it comes to emotions. So you're more emotional. So there's a time where I'm just focusing on the feeling more than the actual context of the situation. So right now, that's what I need from you. So she had to learn how to adjust that because now I'm expressing more feelings and emotions about a situation.
Right.
So I need you to focus on that the same way I would have done it if the roles were reversed.
And I would say it was a learning process for
Sure,
me
yeah,
because
Gotcha.
I never had that from him.
Yeah, but there was something that you said earlier, Anne, and I thought it was very powerful, right? So you said you had to create the space for that to happen, right? Oftentimes in relationships or when things are falling apart, it's almost like, somebody saying, well, you're not being vulnerable, or you're not opening up, or you're
Right.
not emotionally available, right? So instead of putting the blame on the other person, but it's more like you're doing an introspect. You're looking at yourself and saying,
Yeah.
well, have I created an environment where you
Right.
feel
That
safe
part.
enough
That part.
to,
Yeah.
to be vulnerable, safe enough to be, to be emotional, or to open up and talk about, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because if you try to talk to him and say, man, I'm not in the mood for that right now. I got those, the lesson plan I got to work on for
Right,
tomorrow.
right.
But the fact that you made time, or you created the space, or
Yeah.
created the environment, now he feels free to talk
Yeah.
about it, to express his feelings. So
Yeah.
so I guess that goes back to what you said in the beginning, right? Just being intentional in everything that you do, and I thought that was
Yeah.
very powerful.
And that stuff is cyclical. It's cyclical, right? And by that I mean someone might not be able to create that kind of space because they're still dealing with their own trauma where they don't have
Right.
that space. They don't know how to create that space.
Yeah.
But then now the person's trying to offer let's say the husband's trying to express emotions and be vulnerable. And he has his own issue being vulnerable because as a man you're supposed to be a certain way.
Right.
So so you need to deal with this. As a man, you need to deal with the trauma of being a chauvinist to that extreme and being toxic masculinity. I mean, these terms exist now, but they're true. We can't just dismiss those terms. And now you have a wife who never seen a safe space. So I cannot create a safe space if I've never seen a safe space.
Yeah, yeah.
And not to trivialize or simplify these situations, but if you could just take the most basic character skill of empathy, that will go such a long way. Be empathetic.
Yeah.
Can you put yourself in your partner's shoes and look at the feeling that they're expressing, the hurt they might be feeling over that particular thing? How would you want to be treated if the roles were reversed?
Right.
It would push us a little bit more to make those adjustments if we were not so self-centered, trying to preserve ourselves and being a little bit more empathetic towards each other as partners, right?
Yeah.
It bothers me when my wife's feelings are hurt about something. I might think it's trivial what she's hurt about or what she's upset about,
Right.
but it still bothers me that she's
fact that
upset
she's
about
upset,
something.
yeah.
And that should be I think that's one formula we share with couples all the time. So yeah, man. So
And I think that takes us back to the question that you asked about, like, what is the church not doing?
Yeah.
they're not talking about these things.
Right. Two of the most important ministries, and I think in the church, are your children's ministry
Yeah.
and your marriage
Marriage
ministry.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not many churches have flourishing marriage ministries.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a marriage ministry where we go out to eat every third Friday of the month. I'm talking about like where there's actual work being done, where we're in community, we're connecting with other couples, and have an accountability couple where we can go to talk. Because when we have issues, I know who to call,
Yeah.
who will get him straight
Jesus.
after Jesus, right? Because it's that accountability. Like,
Yeah.
who are you sharing with? Who are you being vulnerable with? You know,
And also,
so,
is that person that you share with, are they going to hold you accountable? Are they going to be your yes person?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
We have a joint friend that we go to, and then that friend will tell me, God, he was bugging.
Yeah.
even if I told him he was bugging.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in this, like, sometimes you need to hear from someone
somebody
else,
else. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
because even with, how they say in the Bible, like, a prophet is not welcome in their
Welcome
own
in his
home,
own
right?
home, yeah.
Even some of the things that I'll say to him, because we've been together for forever.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, but if he and like
Honor your words.
honey, someone else could say the same
Same
exact
thing, yeah.
thing. And it's like, okay,
he's never
that
heard
makes
it before.
sense. Bro, you didn't hear that from me.
She's so by herself. That's you.
And I think it works both ways.
I think
Sometimes that happens with me too.
a lot of times.
Oh, God.
She come back and say, "I just spoke to my sister-in-law. Guess what she said?
Exactly.
So
what
let me
you said.
play for you what because I recorded what I was
recorded it.
saying.
No.
Let me play it for you. It's the same thing I
Imagine
said
that. Imagine you actually
verbatim. But you know,
recording.
one of the things that and it's gonna get into this other tool that we give people. It goes back to tone. Tone is really important. It's harder for you to swallow what. Pause. Hey yo, it's harder. This what?
Sorry, God.
I was gonna say something completely off crazy, but anyway,
I should apologize in advance.
No, it's okay. We don't
Because
we don't have
he has
kids.
no filter.
No, it's okay. We don't have kids watching.
It's
this, so we're
it's
good.
easier
Lord Jesus.
based on tone, the way
Yeah.
you are presenting certain things to your partner, right? One of the things I tell couples now, and there's a couple I just officiated their wedding, and we joke in the group chat back and forth. I use my I statement today. You know, there's this thing called I statement versus you statement. We won't get into that. Book us. We'll come and do a whole workshop for you. But we're using they're going to Google it now, watch.
Yeah.
Using I statement versus you statement when you're having conversations, it goes a very long way, right? Because I statement is focusing on the feeling. I feel this way because of this. And when you did this is what it did to me.
Right.
Versus you always do this, which sounds very accusatory. When we use the you statement, it's very accusatory, and people go in the defense,
shell.
the shell, the fight or flight. How will I respond to these things? You're attacking me now. You're always blaming me, and so those things are really important. And you also tell people when you don't discuss and it'll sound trivial. You don't discuss the fact that a toilet seat being up. You don't discuss it when you're upset about the toilet seat being up. You have these conversations when things are calm. You set your expectations, things that you like, your likes, your dislike, not in the middle of an argument. So the timing is also very, very important when it comes to discussion and arguing or discussions.
No, got it. There was a point that you made earlier, and when you said, or the two most important ministries in the church is marriage and the children ministry. I think that's that is so true, because when you think about it, if you're having marital issues, it impacts everything else. Everything else. Sometimes people don't think about that, right? Because you're walking around, you're upset. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel you're not in the mood. You're not in the mood to do anything. Because things are not right at home.
Yeah.
It impacts your jobs, right? It impacts your performance at work. It impacts everything that you can possibly think of.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for for you guys to kind of focus on that, and for the churches to actually dedicate the time and create an environment where they can offer more tools and more help to to married couples.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's also super important that we're the same conversation I was having with your Czech person. It's crazy because I just did another wedding, and part of my charge was about the scripture that talk about the three strands not easily broken, you being one, your partner being the other, and God being the third. And when you tie it up, it's not easily broken. But if you think about three chords, if one is deteriorating, it could break.
Yeah.
So we can't just, forgive me, church folks, for what I'm about to say. In a marriage, you cannot just rely on God and prayer. Jesus at the center of it all. I love that song. All that stuff is great, but you need to work.
Of course.
Even in
I think you have to say you can't just rely on prayer.
Okay, we call her Jesus' cousin because she
No, 'cause
spiritualized.
I think that's what he meant to say.
That's why I apologize to church people in case they took it the way that you're taking it, Jesus' cousin. I call her JC, not
When you
Jesus
said it
Christ.
earlier, you didn't say God, you said prayer.
Prayer, God, synonymous. Combine it, put it together.
Yeah, prayer.
Right, prayer. What you want me to say? Prayer.
Prayer.
Marriage, guys. Which camera? Marriage. Okay, I'm gonna say prayer because that's what my wife.
That's what you meant.
That's what I meant. So
Like marriage is for correction, right? You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So
and it's crazy because I came to that revelation the other day. I actually made a video about it. It's like my wife and I were at an event, and I have a very hard time with when I feel there's, I wouldn't say an animosity, or there's, if me and you, JR, we have an issue, I feel like we have an issue.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to be in the same space with you. Am I necessarily going to take the steps to fix it? Probably not, but being in the same space is very difficult for me. And I feel like going to you, greeting you, and saying hello, even if it's that on that level, I feel like it's fake.
Fake, yeah.
And I told her, oh man, this work of being, the smile. She's like, no, there's nothing wrong with you being cordial. You're going to say hello to somebody, it's just you being cordial.
Yeah.
Just from that statement, that made me better. It sounds so simple, but I never thought of it that way.
Right.
I thought like me going to JR and give you, say, hey, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Or just saying hello was fake. But my wife's able to tell me, no, you're just being cordial. So now next event, I'm still not going to go say hi. I'm going to be better and say hello to the person I might feel something towards, because it's just a decent thing to do. So when she said about, marriage is supposed to make you better, that's what is it too. It's like, don't tell me what to do. I'm not gonna go say hi to them. No, just a statement like, babe, just go say hello. Just being cordial. That helped me because I really struggle with that. I don't do well with, hey buddy, and I'm smiling in your face and we know there's something that is not okay. The fact that she's able to swallow that, pause once again.
Bro, the word swallow is an okay word. You just,
well, the fact that
your
she's
context is just off, like your mind.
I watched
But
too much.
back
I watched
to-
too much Cameron and Mace.
Back to the, because he was saying, marriage doesn't just take prayer. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Oh, let me finish that thought
Okay.
real quick, and I'll let you chime in. This is fake, guys. We don't do all this stuff. No, but the fact that it's supposed to be because you are so God-centered. You both love the Lord.
Yeah.
You're both in ministry. You're both working in ministry. Both doing all these things, but yet your marriage is still crumbling. You need to make sure you're also doing the work. Pray.
Yeah.
God is the
Priagi,
Priagi.
right?
God is the one who could mend hearts.
Right.
He's a mender of hearts.
Yeah.
Not just broken hearts, period. He can soften hearts, could harden hearts. But nonetheless, so you could pray, hey, Lord, as I'm doing this work, as I'm doing what I have to do, please, you know what you have to do for my husband. You know he's hard-headed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to make sure I'm doing the work to make sure I'm not coming across as a nag, because when I nag, it impacts him. As a husband, I know when I say certain things, my wife is triggered, so I'm not going to say some of these things.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you're being intentional in doing the work while you're praying, while you're relying on God. Because, faith without work is dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to put in the work as well.
It's not just sitting there just waiting for it to happen.
You can't.
Creative.
Yeah. Go ahead, Anne.
Moments are created. No, just wanted to piggyback off of that. Like, you can't, like you said, you can't just sit around and think that a beautiful marriage is just going to pop up. Like, what are you doing to make it better?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going to feel like something's being taken away from you because maybe you've been raised a certain way. But that's what marriage is really about. It's going back to that becoming
That
one.
process,
Think of something becoming one. Like, I work with children, and so, like, let's say there's a green piece of Play-Doh here and a purple piece, right? You gotta squish it together, and even when you squish it together, it's not one yet until you do like the kneading and the pressing and the pushing and the rolling and all the things, right? That's when it actually becomes one. You can't see where the green or the purple even started. So it hurts.
Gotcha.
But it's worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Because that's really that's why you became one. That's why you got together in the first place, right? And I think that's the missing piece, that people really aren't ready for that part.
Yeah.
And that's why they end up saying, you know what? Okay, I didn't know it was going to take all of this. This is not what I signed up for, right? And they're like, deuces.
What a great analogy. The two pieces of clay come together, but they're not really merge into one. They don't actually become one until you put them through the process, right? You got to crush them. You got to push them. You got to merge them together. You got to apply a lot of pressure and mix them in order for them to come together and actually become one. And the colors start merging and dissolving within one another. That's the process for marriage, right? Because you are taking two different individuals from different cultures, from different backgrounds, and you are coming together and you're supposed to live as one. You're supposed to become one. So the challenges, the issues, the problems, the little things that you run into during the course of the marriage, that is the process of molding and becoming one. So appreciate those challenges, embrace them, and find a way to work through them and to actually become one. It's not an easy process. It's just the reality of it. Marriage is not easy, but it's not impossible. So I encourage you to follow those advices from the garçons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect opportunity for us to take a break here after this part 1. And we're going to come back next week with part 2. So I encourage you to share the link with others that you think is going to find it beneficial. And also, don't forget to leave us a comment and let us know what you think of the stories. If you have any questions for the garçons, if you want to reach out to them for counseling sessions or whatever you think you may need, feel free to reach out and do not hesitate. And as I always say, you may think your situation is unique. You may think you're the only one who's going through what you're going through right now. I guarantee you, someone has already been there and figured it out. So that's why it's important for you to reach out and talk to people, right? I'm not saying to just talk to just any random person about your business, but just, reach out to people who has the capacity and people who has the ability to assist you with what you're going through. So the garçons are perfect for that. So I hope you'll reach out to them and talk to them. And as I always say, listen, you're not alone in your situation. So on this show, we don't promote divorce. We don't support it. But we do understand there are certain situations that calls for it. And it's unfortunate. But by any means, if it can be worked out, I encourage you. I'm pleading with you right now to just find a way to work it out. If not, just, hang in there and know that, it's not the end. It doesn't have to be the end. And remember, live every day as if it is your last day. Because one day it will be. Thanks for watching 2.0. I'm JR, and I'll see you next time.